Hello everybody, this is Dana with the Freedom Please channel and essenceofme.com. I'm coming to you all today with a bit of an update. I have been saying and promising, and this is not a bra strap, this is actually just an undershirt. So I have been saying for several videos that I was going to update you all on what was going on, and so this is that video. I will be talking quite a bit, pretty much like a vlog. And so for all of my crafters, I think you all will still enjoy this. So you can press pause, grab your project, and come back. And once you come back, I'll show you what I am working on, even though you all know, if you are not new to my channel, that I cannot talk and knit at the same time. So this will be your opportunity to go and come back. So pause me here and then come back. So for everyone else that is sticking around, or if you already have your project, I want to start off by saying welcome to all of my new subscribers. I truly appreciate from the bottom of my heart all of your support, not just for my new subscribers, but also the old. I also want to say thank you so much for all of you that not only watch, but that you also comment. I love that. I love it, one, because, you know, sometimes you feel like, do I want to come on and make another video? And then other times it is really cool to be able to interact with everybody and to see what you're doing, and so it's just great. The other thing that I want to say is thank you to you all that are commenting and allowing it to be posted on your Google profile if you're one of those people. And if I get ninja mouth for a little bit, it's just my camera, so just work with me here. But if you're letting my, commenting and allowing it to be posted on your Google Plus page, thank you. I appreciate that, right? And so let's jump back in. Okay, let me first show you what I'm working on. It is not done, but I'm going to show you. Okay, here's my project bag. It's actually falling apart. I need to order more. I used to find these bags at the Dollar Tree, and it used to be 3 bags in a box for $1, but they don't do it anymore, so I've been keeping my eye out for them. So here is the bottom, which is, if you can't tell, it's a shoe. Well, I guess technically it's not a shoe, it's going to be like a house shoe. And then here is the other portion of it, and if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen it, which is this, some cables, and this is what I'm working on. That's just one of 2. This color is a color that I showed you all in that last haul, that hot pink, I believe it's called. Let me see. Yes, it's called Hot Pink, and it is by Burnett Softy Chunky. Okay, that's what I'm working on. Now, what's coming up? Oh, I will be doing a video soon for all of you that are doing, whether it's Black Friday shopping, because I'm not anticipating doing any Black Friday shopping because I did pre-Black Friday shopping. And yes, I got yarn, but it wasn't just for me. I'm doing a swap with the group on Ravelry, so I'm going to show you all what I got, yay, as my gift for my swap person. And I'm excited because my gift is going to the UK, so that's the first time I'm going to be shipping internationally. So how awesome is that? Okay, I think that's it. So what has been going on with Dana? I have to backtrack a bit. Earlier this year, and this recording is done on November 20-something, 26th, I believe, of 2013. Earlier this year, just so much was going on, and I was really moved to really sit down and write out some goals that I really wanted to have completed by the end of 2013. And I would not categorize it necessarily with New Year's resolutions or anything of that nature. Number one, because it was, I believe I did it in maybe April or May, maybe even June of this year. And so I sat down and kind of really searched my heart. I prayed about it quite a bit. and I wrote down my goals. And I ended up with 8 goals. I don't know them all on the top of my head because I literally just wrote them down. And a few of those were, and I believe I may have done a blog about it, but I'm not certain. One was that I wanted to be training for a marathon, to do potentially in 2014. And I've started, that's been slow, but I have been doing it. I put that I wanted to actively mentor one woman throughout the year of 2013, and that has been happening. And I've actually been actively mentoring more than one woman, and that has been, it's such a blessing. I mean, mentoring is always something that you believe you're doing, like you're giving, but it really is this reciprocal thing that takes place in that relationship that I truly appreciate. What was another one? Oh, another one was that I wanted to read, I think, at least 12 books that were just for me. And I believe I've exceeded that goal, and I actually stopped tracking it because I surpassed that goal like well into the year. It didn't take me very long, but I do a lot of reading. And another one, and this is, I believe, the only goal that has not been fulfilled, which is I want to do a folk shawl from one of the books that I showed you all before. And I purchased yarn to do it. I used some of the yarn in another project before, so I don't have enough yarn. So I actually ordered some for the free pre Black Friday sales. So I'll show that all to you when it comes in. And one another one of the goals is that, which is what I'm going to update you all on right now, is that I wanted to do a retreat. Now, I'm pausing on that one because I can't believe, I believe it was either one other goal, but I can't remember right now. Um, oh, there is one that I'm nearly certain that I will not complete, just for lack of diligence on my part, but that I will carry over to 2014 to start anew, and I look forward to that. And that is to outline the Bible. Um, I did the reading. I read the entire Bible, but I didn't do the outlining part. And I just honestly was just trying to figure out how to do it with my schedule, paper, electronically, and then I just let that cause that goal to just kind of go past me. And so honestly, I'm saying that if I could do 7 out of 8, that is fantastic. And so, and the year's not up. I still have another month. So, so going back to the one I was pausing at, which is the retreat. I have wanted to do a retreat for so very long. That's one of the goals that I've had for years, and I've always tabled it for one reason or another. And the tabling just kind of ran its course this year. And honestly, I thought that was the one goal on my list that it was very questionable as to whether I would be able to follow through. But I wanted to put it on there because it was something I was like really tired of having on my um, aspirations list and not following through. And so, 2 weeks ago, maybe 3, I had my very first retreat. And it was amazing when I came on and I showed you all in a blog, the one about the tea from Designer Tea. That was actually me putting together my materials and everything and my guest bags for that retreat. And so it was just awesome. And I'm going to tell you why it was awesome. Not just because that's something that I wanted to do for a very long time, but it was also because it just turned out exactly the way that I wanted to. I mean, I was just blessed beyond what I even anticipated. And that is always this fantastic thing. And that's why I wanted to come on and do this blog. Because I feel as though we're at a time where, whether it's because of finances or, people still trying to adjust to whether it was losing jobs or starting businesses. And I believe there's quite a few people that follow me on this channel that whether you do crafting because you do it for a business or you're doing it primarily just because it's an escape. We all come here for different reasons. And in the past, I've done blogs and things like that. But I want to kind of do a better job of coming back. And I want to do that because it's so important. I think when things get crazy, especially when it comes to finances, it's easy for us to kind of cop out and say, oh, I just need to do this just to fix this financial need, and then I'll get back to it. And when I looked over what was going on in my life when I sat down to write those goals, I realized that it was so easy for me to fall to the bottom of that list. I mean, I'm married, we have a business, I have children, we have a diva dog that is so super spoiled. I have ministry commitments. I have women that I mentor whom I love and I want to make myself available to. I have goals and aspirations that I have concerning my health, and I've shared those with you all that I just haven't done a really good job of following through. And quite honestly, I got tired of it, really tired of it. And so it caused me to write those goals down. And I'm okay, not I'm okay with the fact that maybe I didn't reach all of them, for the simple fact that I was really diligent and I got a lot of them accomplished. And so, why I wanted to do this today, other than, oh, and I didn't show you all, this is what I'm wearing. I told you how much I love this hat and this scarf. I know, sidetrack. I wanted to do it because I want to come on and do this more. I want us all to be encouraged and encourage each other. We're coming up on a new year. 2014 is literally knocking on our door. And if it's the Lord's will, we will see this new year. I believed in it before about writing out your goals, but this time, after seeing the doors being open and so many breakthroughs this year because of me, I hand wrote those goals and I made those goals public. And I shared those goals with other people. So that every once in a while someone would ask me about how I was doing. And it was so helpful. And in the past I thought me doing the blogs would be helpful, but you guys are not very good at that. Yeah. But I think writing them out on my personal blog was helpful. And sharing them with my subscribers on my newsletter and things of that nature was helpful. And so I want us to kind of figure out for this new year what it is we want and what it is that we're really believing God for. And that was this kind of this focal point of the retreat. I shared with the women several workshops on identifying, what they really wanted to pray for and press for in 2014. And we did the retreat at the beginning of November, and the women knew while we were coming, but I believe that timing was perfect because, sometimes we wait till the new year comes and then we're like, oh, bam, everybody's doing this, so let me write some things down. But I really wanted them to search their hearts and figure out what it was that God had really called them to do. We either fall at the bottom of that list, or we wait and we wait and we wait and we say, well, I'll wait till my kids are grown, or I'll wait till my kids are teenagers, or I'll wait until I help my husband or my spouse or my significant other to do this, that, and the other. And all the while we're being bumped down and down that list. And the reason why I really believe that now in this time that is unacceptable is because I believe the longer that we delay, the more saddened our heart can become, the more discontent that we can become in life, the more we will lack joy in our life. And there's this scripture in 1 Thessalonians, I believe it's 5 and 16, and it talks about what God's will for us is that we have joy, that we always have joys with some versions of the Bible says that we never cease to pray and never stop praying, and that we will be satisfied in all circumstances, which to me is another way of saying being content, with where we are, not complacent, as in, oh, if this is my life, I'll just deal with it, but content, as in, I believe doing everything that we need to do and allowing God to do everything that He can do. And I think that's so important. It's important because, number one, that's what He wills for us, right? But I think it's also important because, like, what's life worth living if we're not living? And I believe you can do that now. If no one is there to say, hey, get off your butt, kick it up a notch, live boldly, live courageously, live. Now, this is not giving you a pass to go do something crazy. Don't say Dana said it. But if that's something crazy, it's something that is in your heart and you've always wanted to do it, who am I to tell you not to do it? Other than to say, now is the time. The word also says, we're not promised tomorrow, and we're not meant to worry about tomorrow, because today has enough troubles for itself, is what it says, which is true. And so, before I go on and on, I'm going to title this vlog Dream Chasing. And not just as being this, like, daydreamer, but taking those dreams and then transferring them into writing so that they then become goals. And so I'm going to end this for my rock stars that watch my videos through the end. And so don't forget to put that in the comment if you're a rock star. Y'all know how to do. But how do we take this dream and then write it down and turn it into a goal? And there's so many ways to do it, right? There's so many people talk about SMART goals, and I never remember what that SMART, I never remember what the acronym stands for. But I'm going to tell you what I do. I first try to identify, for a lack of a better way of saying it, is what makes my heart sing. What gets me excited? What really makes me enthusiastic about identifying the next steps to obtain it? And usually, that thing or that goal is not all about me. That if in that goal, there is a direct connection between my activity and being of service to somebody else. Again, the word says we are here as servants. And sometimes we try to get into this me mentality. I think that's a spiral that can eventually spiral out of control. But you have to decide that for yourself. But again, identify what makes my heart sing and what gets me excited, what makes me feel as though I am living, what I believe God has called me to do, my purpose in my life. Once I identify what that is, I then write it down. And usually in its first version, that's kind of not it. It needs to be fleshed out some. But I write it down, and I write it down for a couple of reasons. One being to get it out of my head and help it to kind of get some air and air it out and flush it out. Another reason why I write it down is because usually I'm praying over it. I'm asking God, okay, what direction is this all supposed to go in? And usually when it hits me, the vision is extremely clear. But if I don't write it down and I say, oh, I'll wait till later, I'll forget some really important parts. Now, usually, Lord's will, it will come back to me. But it's frustrating waiting for it to come back because I felt that connection when it came to me the first time. So that's another reason why I write it down. Once I write it down in that first stage, I put it to the side. And then I again go into a mode of prayer. prayer. What is that prayer about? At that moment, that prayer is usually about God ordering my steps, God giving me an obedient heart, God not allowing me to get trapped in fear, God not allowing me to, um, I keep saying cop out, but I think that's what it is for me. Like making excuses of why I can't do something, or placing limitations or boundaries around the possibility of that goal becoming a reality. And once that all happens, usually it may be something as easy as me writing it down like this and carrying it with me, or even writing it on an index card. You can't see the written because of the glare. Oh, you can't see. Like I write it on an index card and I flush it out, flush it out, flush it out. Once I kind of flush it out, then that's when I either take to um, uh, a journal. I do journal a little bit. I'm not an everyday journaler, but I do journal the big things. And I don't have it in here with me. It usually stays on my beside my bed. Um, but I may journal it. And then once I kind of am able to kind of see a little bit, this is kind of where the rubber hits the road for me. Because writing it down the first time was good. But the next phase of the writing is makes it kind of great. In that I then look at it and I ask it, and usually it came during my time of prayer. Okay, what has have to be true? What truths need to be present in my life in order for this dream to become a reality? What that means is, who do I need to be in order for this dream to be a reality? What physical state do I need to be in order for this dream to be a reality? What connections do I need to make in order for this dream to be a reality? What tools do I need in order for this dream to be a reality? Does that make sense? Kind of like that. You're programming it, that who, what, when, where, why, and how. And in the answering of that, right, anything else that you need to happen, you may need support. You may need to remove some things from your life. You may need to make some room and space in your life. And that's why it's so great if you're doing this now. Because if you're doing it now, you have time to make some room and space in your life, and or you may need to look at what scheduling needs to be true. I mean, and if you don't know, the different things that I've said so far will help you with that. And once I do all of that, that is when I then can do the next step. And the next step is, now all of those questions, as I answer them, I write those answers down. It may not be pretty, it may be pretty. I'm a person that I'll even use different colors to help distinguish sometimes the different phases that this goal setting is going through. One of the next step, and sometimes it's the final step, most of the time it's not. I will sit down and with a paper and a pen. I don't type this phase. I will write out concerning that goal what a day in my life would be like when that goal is a reality. So, I'm realizing that this could be like very, hopeful, wishful thinking to some people. But over the course of my life, there's been so many goals that I've set for myself and that I've achieved. But at the time of setting those goals, I didn't know anybody that had achieved those goals. I didn't have a way to personally, at that time of setting it, relate to the goal, other than realizing that that was something that I really wanted to do. And I felt like once that wanting to had kind of passed, and I really wanted to take that and transition that into a goal, this step was important because since I didn't have any tangible way to see other people doing it or knew of other people doing it, that had to be somewhat of my reality, or sometimes it was a lifeline to help me transition through the phases and the steps of making it a reality. So I would sit down and I write my life in a day. What is it like? What does it feel like? You know, what does it smell like? I don't know if you're a baker, you going into a bakery. What does it smell like? How do you feel? Who are you helping? Um, and this can go on for just a paragraph. I've done it and it's gone on for pages and pages. Extend that beyond yourself. What does it look like in that place, in that reality, for your family, for your spouse, for your children, for other goals and dreams that you have? What does it look like for your career? And so that phase is when it's almost like you're massaging that goal and you're seeing what it will be like in order for you've gone through identifying, and then you went through the phases of what you may need to do as far as steps and what things need to be true in your life in order for that goal to become a reality. And now you're going into that sensory mode of it. And when you write this out, I strongly suggest you try your best to touch on all five senses. What do you see? What do you smell? What do you feel? What do you hear? Surround yourself in it. And when you do this step, I strongly suggest that you're very relaxed, that if you're a coffee drinker or a tea drinker, that you sit down, grab you a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and allow yourself to have time and space, not be in a hurry. And write this down in a place where you could go back to it, okay? In its original state, in the state right now, okay? Now, once that is done, you now have the goal, you have some things that need to be true, you have the sensory mode of the goal, and the last step then that I do then is I say, okay, what is step one? What's the plan? Now, when I say what's the plan, don't think that you have to have every single step planned out to begin. You just need a beginning block. Now, I usually am bad about this because I want the first step, the second step, the third step. But I try my best not to get caught up in it to the point where I don't execute the first one. And here's why. Even though sounds really good, right? Having first, second, third, fourth, fifth. I mean, even in scripture it says, about counting the cost. And, it says even a man that is going to build will count the cost of what it takes to build something. So you want to count the cost. But don't believe that you got to have every single thing planned out, because things change. And usually once you take that first step or that second step, you learn something to where it will cause you to adjust and modify what you do next. But when you have those other things in place of what the goal is and what do you believe it takes to get that done and how it feels, usually those things will help you reevaluate when it's time to order your steps or take the steps to move forward. So this has been a really long blog, but I hope that it has been helpful. And I'm going to restate those things again when it comes to taking that dream and turning it into a goal. The first is to write out what you believe it is that you have been dreaming about, or you believe that your purpose is, that you would like to achieve. The second step is what truths have to be present in your life in order for that goal or that dream to go from being a dream to a goal to a reality. The third one is having that sensory moment where you are taking in hopefully all five of your senses and writing about a day in the life of yourself. And I didn't say this. Write it in first person. First person is I. We are. I wake up at 6 o'clock. I do this. Like first person. Okay. Try your best again to touch on all the senses. Lord, sight, your hearing, your smelling, touching. And the final step is to draft just a preliminary plan. Your first and second step may be enough. Your first step may be just enough to get you moving. And the final step, and I believe this step is probably the most important step, is to tell somebody. Now, I'm going to qualify this statement. Not just anybody. Tell somebody that is going to check on you, that's going to ask you how it's going, that is not intimidated by you if you tell them, oh, back off, that they're going to ask you again, and not in a mean way. You do want it to be someone that is encouraging to you, someone that is invested in your success. But you do want to tell somebody and tell them, hey, this is what my goals are. And if you want to supersize this last step, go back through, write this goal down succinctly, give it to the person, tell them when you want to have it accomplished by, sign your name to it, and have them hold you to it and have some sort of consequence. That will supersize this. And I didn't do that for my goal, but I'm going to do it this next time. That's going to supersize it, in that if I don't reach this goal by such a date, that maybe I have to donate $100 to this charitable, venture or something. And let it be something where, it's going to hurt you if you don't follow through. Not physically hurt, but mean like, man, $100 or $1,000, I don't know. That will supersize that fourth step of telling someone. But that person should be someone that encourages you, someone that will follow through, someone that will ask you about your status and care about why it's important to you and why you should accomplish it, and someone that won't back down and that doesn't easily, that you can't scare off. And I say that because, some people, they love you, but you can intimidate them and you say, oh, don't ask me about it again, and you want somebody that says, I know you say don't ask about it, but how's it going? Okay. And so that is my update, along with a dream goal how to. My prayers are with you all. And I do this channel because I love crafting. I love sharing my hobbies. I enjoy talking, literally sometimes to myself, but interacting with you all in the comments, which is why comments are so important. But I also am starting to realize that this is such a valuable tool. This, as in YouTube. It's a valuable tool because even though at the time of recording this, it's not this two-way conversation, it is. Because for the person, my rock stars that get to the end of this video, you needed to hear this. You needed to hear this. And all 33, and 35 seconds, 36 seconds of this video was just for you. It was just for you. And so, do something about it. I truly challenge you to do something about it. And if you go through these steps and that final step, you do not have someone that will hold you accountable for your goals, I'm going to extend myself in this way. If you do not have somebody, message me. And message me your goals. And message me your deadline. And I will follow up with you. I will follow up with you, okay? And let it be something worthwhile. Don't go small fry on this. Like, I probably shouldn't use fries as an example. But don't go small. Go big. Go big, go hard. Go hard or go home. And let's see what we can do. Like let's rock this thing, okay? So that is it. That is what's going on. That is why I've been so busy. That is why I just kind of got a new fire because because that retreat showed me that, you know, we know, I'm going to close with this. As a believer, we know that all things are possible with God. And I believe that sometimes that's always saw as this big, huge, abstract thing. We know it in our hearts, but sometimes we don't really test that and apply our actions where our faith lies. And through this, I realized that some things that were desires and I consider the whispers of my heart, you know, are just as important. And it wasn't just about the whispers. The interactions that I had with the women at the retreat showed me that I was my heart was somewhere in this certain particular place, and they received it, and they needed it because it's this two-way street. And I'm closing with this because whatever it is that God has given you, we need. We are meant to be this functioning body of everybody's doing their part so that everything can go the way that it's supposed to go. And someone would miss out on the gifts that you have if you choose not to follow through. So we need you. I need you. You need you. And I'm in with that because this is super long. If you made it to the end, I love you. And don't forget to put in the comment section that you are a rock star, because you are. And I appreciate you. And I appreciate your support. And I appreciate you for watching. And I'm about to go. Again, the offer stands. If you get to step 4 and you do not have someone to hold you accountable and you would like for someone to do that, send me a message here on YouTube. I don't even know how that works now, but send me a message. Or, oh, that's even better. If you don't want to send me a message, go to essenceofme.com. Go to the contact me page and you can submit me a message there, and that goes to my email box and I will respond to you, and that will be how we will get started. Okay, that's it. I appreciate your time today. I appreciate your support, and I will see you all as soon as my packages come in. And we will talk sooner than later. Take care and goodbye.